Welcome to another episode of The Practical Metaphysical Journey, the place where practical meets the paranormal, the mundane meets the metaphysical, and the spiritual meets the spooky. A place where we share the experiences of our journeys here on Earth. We encourage you to listen and see what resonates, because we're all different yet the same. We invite you to take a break with us, so unpack and stay a while. We're glad you stopped by for a visit. And here's part two, the continuing discussion around using personality tests to help you understand where you are on your path in life and how we've used similar tests in our own lives.
Yeah, and again, there's no right or wrong to any one of these. They're just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And recognizing it. And if you're strong in one, then that's great. You might help a lot of people pull them through the places where they're weaker. And if you find you're weaker in one, then you may have to pair up with somebody that is stronger. And that may be just a natural thing that happens. There may be somebody that comes along that you're having a chit chat at lunch about, I had this idea, and that person lights up about it. You're like, ooh, this is my, we're talking about the next person, but the transformation or the person that's more like the mastery level, and they can help you take care of it. And again, it may be something that they take it and run. You just needed the idea. You just had to be the idea person.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're not even part of it. You can step out. It's just you brought it in.
And filers and pilers can coexist. Claire and I are opposite. I'm the filer, she's the piler.
Uh-huh.
Oh, how funny.
But she can find it. Yeah.
Isn't it amazing?
Though, it's weird because I have categories where that works. Like at work, I'm the filer. I'm okay with that. Now at home, no.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I think it's because it's also not just my thing at work. I've got it all organized because all these other people are a part of it, and that's part of having
the organization. Everybody's got to be on the same page.
Absolutely. Also, because I don't want to deal with anybody else's chaos stuff. I like my own chaos, thank you.
Yeah.
So then it throws me for a loop when I can't find some other because somebody's done something weird with it, but not at home. But at home, I just know where everything is. So,
in relation to the metaphysics and like you said, spirituality, is just realize as you talk to people, there's all these possibilities out there. That's that creative space. Mm-hmm. You need to look at it and kind of what feels right for you, and maybe what feels right for you is what you take into the transformation and put into play stage.
Right. Yeah, so the last stage is the transformation, or like I would say, mastery, and whatever that looks like. So you could also... what we were talking about before we turn on the thing is if you don't let go of things, if you finish something and then you don't go looking for a new idea, you could really get stuck there. Mm-hmm. So it's important that you're searching for that upward spiral, and so it's great to relish in something coming to completion, but then it's important to keep going, right?
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
So, if you are any one of these three, like we were pretty even. David was really excelling in this one. You had a 7-1 yes to no.
That's amazing.
And I don't know if you want to share this on recording, but the way you talked about how that's...
Oh, yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. So it didn't surprise me that I came out strong in this transformation and bringing things to fruition stage, because I am at that point where I'm close to retirement. I won't give a number in case anybody I work with knows, but I do have a date in mind. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to complete things before I retire, so that way everything is kind of set up. But there's a lot of other stuff that's now starting that I'm in, like the idea and the chaos stage of getting in preparation for when I retire. That's finished, I can start back in the new part of the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't surprise me that I was at that stage, because I have to finish that stuff at work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think anybody listening today, that's important to know. Like if in your 20s and 30s, like I say, that's why I think it's important to do this quiz often, not just
Yeah.
take it one time and go, that's the way I am.
Right, right,
Oh, yeah,
right.
yeah.
Or if it is, yeah, you could still come out strong in transformation in your 20s, 50s, 70s, whatever that looks like. That's a dominant trait to you, but you could use it very differently in each stage, right? Yeah. So I thought that was interesting that you said that, and it was like your light bulb went off. You're like, oh, okay, yeah,
It makes
this is
sense
great.
that had got that score in that category. Absolutely.
Yeah, and Deb and I, we were neutral.
Yeah.
So what we were talking about with the neutrality of it, if your score is pretty even, that means you can do all three of these things. But if none of them are your dominant one per se, you still may need a little help in one of these categories, or you could move through all of these with a breeze, right?
Yeah.
Like you could find it very easy to navigate through all three stages. It just depends. Like you brought in the emotional part. It depends on maybe some emotional things that are happening in your life that you may be struggling in any one of these categories if you're more like even.
And it's interesting because things that I had already kind of set in motion, I had my ideas together, going through the phase of getting everything together with what I want to do, and I had dates set in my mind that I wanted to start teaching these classes and all, but then some other family obligations came up, so it's postponing that a little bit. Mm-hmm. So that's where I feel like even though I'm still moving on with all the other items that I'm doing, that's my possibility part, chaos part, which is I'm still working out those details and all before I get to that absolute transformation part where I've got my set date and that's it, and I'm moving forward, and then that's that, and then letting the new ideas come from that and grow and do more. Which is nice too, because this kind of chaos possibility phase, even having to travel and do some of the things I'm doing, it's provided more ideas. They're still in alignment with what I wanted to do because they're also what I'm still seeking out. So they're still aligned, which is kind of nice.
So that's good because some people may get very irritated about the disruption or the flow or whatever that looks like, and that could totally put you in a tailspin. You could be, devolving because of that. But instead, you are seeing the possibilities, and that's putting even more on your smorgasbord. Like it's giving you more to think about.
Like the universe is giving me some time to collect some more things and ideas and plans and observe a little bit more before I go into my kind of rigid phase of how I'm going to be teaching these classes, wrap it up, get this done, see how this goes, and then what? You know, so it's just kind of feeding this through. Also, just it's like letting me know there's no rush. It's good to have that date that you've got in mind, but it's not a make it or break it. I picked the date out just because I had to give myself a little bit of a deadline.
Sure.
Which I'm not good with deadlines anyways. I have to be at the last minute. So ask anyone who reads my self-evaluation for work. I literally did that at the 11th hour.
Yeah.
So,
I was thinking about that when you said that. Like for work, you might need to be more rigid, right? Because you've only got so much time to get the idea, go through the chaos, and then you've got to have a hard deadline for that. Life can, have some grace, but also you don't want to be stagnant. So you got to get it to transformation, but again, there's no set way that looks like. Really, there's no set way. You just want to make sure you are going in that upward spiral. You're not just letting everything
just hang. And the transformation doesn't have to be a huge thing. We transform, learn every day, whatever. Let something come into life, or get rid of something that we need to get rid of. So the transformation, it's not. I like that it's not the end phase. I'm transformed. I am now fully spiritual.
Right.
I've attained whatever. Yeah, I mean, we know that doesn't happen, but it's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's that cycle. You've transformed, but now you're in a different place, so you can probably see ideas that you would have not seen earlier.
Right.
And then you're back at the beginning of the cycle and going through. What do you think so I'm thinking out of the three stages, like for me, I'm better today. To me, that second one is probably, even though it was even scored, I have to be really aware of myself and how I react. So I think that's the toughest one to go through.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why, and I think it's probably true for a lot of people, that second stage, that chaos where you see all the possibilities, that's where you're challenged.
Yes.
That's where your idea becomes challenged because you see all the other stuff that could be.
Mm-hmm.
So for what I do now, because I kind of understand that, you know, and at work or in other areas where I'm doing, I try to relish that second stage. I want to be challenged. I want you to question it. I want you to say, well, did you think of this? Did you think of that? Because through that activity is where you come up with the best transformation that you can do.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like what you said earlier about refining.
Yeah.
So the way your hands, when you're talking with your hands, I'm like, okay, yeah, in the idea phase, you kind of want your funnel wide, right? Like
Yep.
you're encompassing.
Yes.
And then when you're coming through the middle, you're starting to bring it back down. You're refining it, so you're bringing the point back down. And then whatever transformation looks like is whatever it looks like. But really, just to think about it that way, that makes a lot of sense. But it's
Yeah.
good because the refining process is like questions, right? Questioning and making sure that
what if and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that was a lesson I had to learn, and you know, just bringing that up for people. So as you think about this, and you know, if you find you do enjoy the chaos or you don't like chaos, question why you don't like it. Is it because, and this goes back to being self-aware, do you not like the chaos because it's a challenge to you? It's challenging what you think should be happening.
Mm-hmm.
When it's really that stage where it's, okay, you think this is the way it should happen,
Yeah.
but maybe there's other possibilities out there that you should be considering.
So don't
that
come from
things
an
can-
ego, necessarily your ego
Yeah.
speaking loudly like it's my way or the highway
Yep.
type thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, be
that
more open. Yeah.
chaos area is going to be the area where you have perhaps the least control, where other things
Yeah.
can affect you. So I was just writing some ideas where you are affected by others or affected by other circumstances. So that's really where you find yourself and how you react to the things where I have a great idea. Well, it won't work because of this, that, or the next thing, you know, or so-and-so says something, or for instance, you know, you're with wrapping up work and that type of thing. That involves a lot of other people who affect how you're going through your process now. And it doesn't mean that you've lost yourself, but it means, like you said, that the different challenges will appear in this phase so that you learn how to handle them, who you are, where you're standing strong, where you need to be flexible, so that you can get to that transformation phase with the most peace and you come out on the other side, and then you get to see who you are afterwards. So yeah, that the possibilities, the growth, the chaos, every time we say chaos, and I'm going to date myself, I just think of Get Smart. Okay, that's all I think of.
And,
So I keep
and the
thinking,
cone of silence.
and the cone of silence, yes, exactly, which I frequently think I'm in and I'm not. But yes, chaos was always challenging, you know, the good guys and all that stuff. But it just, I think that probably is the big activity part. Even being challenged by your own thoughts. Well, I have an idea, I want to do this. Well, but can I do this?
Yeah. And I, even for me on my spiritual journey and trying to figure that out, you know, I was raised a particular religion, went, you know, to church all the time. I was actually a lay speaker, so I've done sermons and all of that. Just never felt right.
Yeah.
And so I've explored, and through high school, one of the things that I really enjoyed doing is I would go to the churches of all my friends.
Oh, sure.
Just to experience all the different kinds
And see what
of
that was
religions
about.
and see what that was like. And so I'm curious now, out of the training that you got for this test, it almost seems like that second stage is where you grow the most, or you have the most potential for growing.
Mm-hmm. So the class was more, you know, acknowledging where you're at, but then the class was a healing class. You were doing it as part of like learning a modality. So it was more about, so if you find someone in that area, how do you help them heal there?
Which that's
So.
a great place for this too, because how do you heal through getting past whatever your idea is that you can or can't do, and you heal to the point where you can transform and come out of that. So that is a very kind of healing space to be in, even though it's chaotic.
And when you brought up the word ego, that clicked for me instantly, going, yeah, and that's probably what makes people get stuck along this line in this cycle, is the ego kicks in, and the ego's telling you need to go straight from idea to transformation.
Right. You can't do that. You haven't learned enough, or you don't know enough about this. What makes you think you can do this? And it's all those words that are, probably somebody else's, or the ones that we sit comfortably in our space of just ideas in, so we don't launch forward a little bit.
Right, yeah. It's in the book here. I was just kind of looking down there when she asked, and I'm like, well, let's just see what the book says. It just says, the healing journey is one that is releasing old blocks to reach the next step.
There we go.
Yeah.
So it's bringing things to an awareness.
I think
whether we choose to see that or not, that's that's part of our spiritual journey. That's why we're kind of talking about this as part of our podcast, as it all ties in so nicely.
Yeah.
But there's healing that's probably needed in any one of these phases, depending on who you are. So I don't want to discount the other two areas either. But
because just the fact that you're having an idea that you think you can do something means you've probably moved past some point where you thought you couldn't, or it's something new that sparks something that is going to be healing for you, that you want to do, that you think is going to bring you peace, joy, love, something that we don't generally get ideas to do negative things. That's not who we are.
Not that it doesn't exist in the world.
It exists in the outer world, and that's a whole nother topic, I think. But, the fact it's like, wow, you know what, I have an idea. I want to be teaching my crystal classes. Well, if anyone listened to our crystal podcast before, I was about as far away from that when we had our first one that actually didn't record. I was like, crystal schmistles, whatever, okay. But, oh my goodness.
You took that to transformation real quick.
Absolutely. And who helped me do that? You two. You launched me right into it. So, yeah, it's crazy.
And we helped you put your house into chaos now.
100%. But I'm transforming on the other side. So, yes, there's a lot of transformation, which it's interesting because I'm seeing in my family, with my husband, with the animals even. It's really interesting to see what they're doing with all this stuff too, and all this energy and various things. I frequently catch the puppy running through the house with a crystal she's stolen, or a rock I've tumbled that she's stolen. And that's hers. Don't mess with it. That's it. But there was a day I found the cats burying one in the cat box. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah. Apparently that crystal wasn't doing it for them. I don't even know how they got it or put it in there. They had to make that effort. So,
well, that's great. Well, I think this is good information for everybody. And again, there's no right or wrong to any of this. If you got a high or a low, it wouldn't matter. It's just recognizing, and then always looking for that upward spiral of transformation. You want to keep evolving, not falling back into devolving. And if you do, catch yourself. Go find a friend that's in whatever next step is you need. Like if you're not a good idea person, go have lunch with somebody that you know is always throwing out ideas, and just kind of get those creative energies back humming again, and then you can maybe take it from there. Or you might need help in all three stages. I don't know. There's no right or wrong. Yeah. Just acknowledging where you're at.
And it's perfectly okay to change over time.
Oh, yeah.
Based Constantly. On what's going on in your life, you'll be strong in some areas or not others. And that's part of your journey. That's part of your development.
Mm-hmm. And you'll be helping other people at different phases. Sometimes you'll be the idea person, or someone giving someone an idea, or helping them transform, or getting through that chaotic possibility point. So
I think just like you said, there's Myers-Briggs, and there's different other quizzes you can take. Like you mentioned the Cosmopolitan quizzes. When you're young, you never know what you need.
Those Cosmo quizzes. Yep.
Mm-hmm. But I was even thinking just in general, just knowing where you're at, like knowing yourself. Human design comes to mind. That's another one that's more of a spiritual type quiz that you can find somebody do a human design chart, or find them online. just do a quick for yourself.
Well, when you're on Facebook, how
or
many
when-
times do you see, oh, what kind of witch are you, or what kind of
Yeah,
what kind
yeah.
of spirit animal would you be, or what kind of house, or what kind of city would you live in? I mean, these things are out there. People love to do these things all the time.
It gives you good awareness.
So, yeah.
But like with the human design, and we'd have to probably do our charts just to see, but I know that I'm a manifestor generator, which is supposedly someone that can move through the stages easily. They have ideas, they can get through the chaos, and then bring everything to transformation. So it'd be interesting to see if that matches up. But that could be an overarching theme of your life. But again, there's going to be times when it's maybe not as easy. Like there might be times when you need help. So
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, it's fun. I like the way it's making me think today, because that's making me kind of want to journal about it, and I know where all my journal crap is.
That's
Well,
great.
and this is going to lead into the episode when we get there of talking about vision and mission, because I think there you really want to understand yourself and understand what makes you tick.
Mm-hmm.
What you find important, how do you feel satisfied, or what can you do to feel satisfied, and I think as long as you're aligned with that, whatever stage you're in, you'll feel satisfied and you'll feel like you're
Yeah.
accomplishing things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, well, thank you so much for joining us. This is one of our shorter episodes, but we just wanted to kind of go through that, and like we did, talk about some of our ideas as far as how you could apply something like this, how it applies to us, and how we use this kind of information. So as always, if you have any other ideas or other tests maybe that you've taken, and how did it work for you if you did something like Myers-Briggs or the other ones that are out there, all useful tools, but just part of our education of ourselves. So thanks again for joining us, and make it a great day. Thank you.